Salute, salute. I'm in my basketball jersey slash basketball t-shirt. This is my first video of the year, actually. Well, the first one where I'm actually looking at the camera and talking to y'all. So first, let me say Happy New Year, 2024. Just celebrated my birthday this past Saturday, February 3rd. Shout out to the Aquarius Nation out there. Had a pretty good time. Went to see D.L. Hughley do stand-up comedy for my birthday. But y'all not here for that. Y'all are here for raising Kanan. And you know what? At first I was gonna title it, Why Would Rock Do That? But y'all can see that I switched the title to this episode was rather unique. I think all of us thought that he may pop back up, and it just made sense because as savagely as Ronnie beat him, it just seemed, excuse me for my big $5 word, but counterintuitive to just roll your brother down a hill. I mean, by some garbage. Just like you didn't put him in a trash compactor so that his bones get crushed. You didn't, do away with the body, just roll the body down a hill. I mean, who knows who could have found him? Somebody could have found him and helped nurse him to health. That just, not to advocate the criminal lifestyle, but, if I was a criminal, I'm not just rolling somebody down a hill and walking away. It just didn't make any sense, from the jump. But I'll come back to that. But in terms of Rock, so like bow, she let our guy, Detective Howard, aka Q, Jay Reed, from In Too Deep, Omar Epps is one of our favorites. And you kind of hate to see him go, but he was starting to get on your nerves. I know he was starting to get on your nerves. Like when he's sitting in the office with his superior, his captain, and, I mean, we going a little far for you to bring my union rep in, and I know you're not accusing me of this, and blah. It's just like him trying to act like he wasn't guilty was getting on my nerves because he was moving in a way that it was clear that he was guilty. So almost lost my train of thought. Oh, but as I'm struggling to figure out to myself, why did Rock take him out in that moment? It just came back to me. Not only did he tell her we need to sacrifice Marvin, I gotta give, the police something if we doing all this. He had the nerve to tell her that same thing in front of Marvin. The only difference this time he used coded language. He didn't come right out and say it. But what are the odds that Marvin is going to question him about that? I mean, her about that. In the car, Marvin is going to say, what in the did Detective Howard mean by that? And she either had it on her mind to tell him and say, I'm going to just have to take care of him, or she just told him, don't worry about it. But I think at that time, she knew that she had to take the father of her child off the earth. Now, in terms of Kanan, that was pretty gangster, cause it was like a triple cross. He made it seem like he was getting kidnapped. They panicked, but the giveaway should have been to Juke that her family was getting played. She kept screaming, "I know Ronnie has something to do with this. I know this is Ronnie. I know this is Ronnie." He yelled that the entire time he was getting pulled into the van. So, in dealing with that, you have a situation where that's the first person who they're gonna go to. Um, Now, also, the other issue with that is that it sets up a situation where they're going into it thinking one thing, but it was totally something else. And it was actually pretty smart how they were doing it. But because of that, when they were actually in the situation, it was a situation where they were surprised. But then Kanan was smart enough that he surprised Ronnie. And Ronnie was not expecting what he got. So, rest in peace to him. This wasn't his best episode, but Ronnie has been very entertaining to us, with his weird actions and, eating his cereal and all that. But I say thumbs up. It's one of the better episodes of the series and probably the second best episode of the season. We out.